Welcome to mental health class. It's a topic. No one talks about how your circumstances can affect your mental health. We are often told to make the best of the situation. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And nobody na give you no sugar. Train your mind to see the best in every situation. Really? No. And then sometimes we go to therapy or we talk to our friends, and then we go back to the same circumstance that caused us to need therapy into the first place. And then it's not long before you need to go back to therapy, and now you are in what is called a cycle of struggle. Sometimes a mental disorder can be from a chemical imbalance, but sometimes a mental disorder can be developed from repeated, sustained exposure to acutely unfavorable circumstances. It affects your outlook on life. It can make you feel like God don't love you. It can cause you to start thinking, I can't deal with this no more. Maybe I am better off dead. It is said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Now, by extension, insanity can be attained by exposing yourself to the same circumstances over and over and over and expecting to feel differently about it. Why you think that's possible? It's not. And then now the worst thing is you will express to someone, I need a change in my life. And that self-righteous person will look at you and say, you have to learn to be happy in your current situation now before you can change it. Me ignorant and dark for them when they say so, you see. Sometimes the reason you're depressed is because you have nothing to be excited about. And a refreshing and revitalizing change in your circumstances can give your mind something to think about. So with that said, how do you change your circumstances? Here are 5 tips that were helpful for me to change my circumstances, and I hope they can help you too. Tip number 1, believe that you can change your circumstance. How do you do that? Say it out of your mouth. I can change my circumstances. And even if you don't believe it, still say it. Be your own hypocrite. We have all been hypocrite for others. How about we support ourselves? 2, depression has its highs and its lows. So when you're on a high, meaning you're basically okay, take advantage of the high times. Examine your circumstances. Write down the things that you would want to change. Write down how you're going to change them. Put them in order of priority. And then what this does is when you are back in a funk and when you're in a low, it gives your mind something to look forward to in getting out of that funk. Number 3, do something bold. Something that you have never done before. I'm not talking about an activity like skydiving or bungee jumping, because the dopamine and the happiness that you feel from that is ephemeral. It doesn't last. I am speaking about a behavioral pattern. For example, if you were the type of person to never raise your hand and ask a question in class, do it. Whatever it is, you know yourself best. If there is something that you've always been afraid of and it has become your behavioral pattern to avoid it, do it. Counter that thing. Counter that behavioral pattern and do it boldly. Do something bold. Now, what that will do is it will liberate you, because after having done it, you will realize that it is something that you've conquered. It changes your history, because now you have something to think about that you've achieved that you thought you couldn't. Number 4, no man is a highland. No man stand alone. Ask for help. And I don't mean encouragement and tell you, you can do it. Just put your shoulder to the wheel. Yes. No, I don't mean that. I mean tangible help. Someone who could introduce you to the right people. Someone who could introduce you to destiny helpers. Someone who could help you to rewrite, for example, your resume. Someone who could teach you financial literacy. Someone who can help you develop a new skill or that thing that you need. Someone who could actually help you to get that thing or give you that thing that you actually need. So we're talking about tangible help, not help with encouragement and persons being there for you to talk. Yes, it is always good to have persons to talk, but how many times are you going to talk about the same thing over and over again? It is going to make you tired. So sometimes you need the help that can actually catapult you to a different level in your circumstance. So ask for help. Matthew 7 verse 7 to 8. Ask. Number 5, give yourself a timeline to achieve one change in your circumstance. So after you've examined the things that you want to change about your life or the things that you want to change in your circumstance, set a time frame that you want to change it. Whether it is moving to a new city or getting a new job or learning a new skill, whatever situation around you that needs to change to make you better, change it and have no guilt about it because you are doing this for you. Set yourself a timeline to make that change and make sure you make the change. So, next time when you're feeling depressed or you're feeling down, just remember it might just be that your circumstances have been so sustained and unfavorable that it is causing your mind to lose hope, because hope deferred makes the heart sick. So when you're hoping for something that's different, when you're hoping for a change, when you're hoping for a breakthrough and you don't see it coming, naturally you are going to become depressed, you're going to become disillusioned and crestfallen. So next time that you are feeling depressed, maybe, just maybe, it could be as a result of your circumstances and not necessarily a chemical imbalance in your brain. And one tiny change in your circumstances could really be just all you need. Bang! Love you guys.